Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.
Hey guys, welcome in and a very, happy Tuesday to you now, the 24th of January, 2023. Let that sit in for a minute here. February is almost upon us here, and we got plenty of NBA action to break down for you here. Interesting slate of games tonight, some ones we've pulled out, see if we can find a couple of edges and a couple of sweet spots, and we're going to do it with three of the OGs as we welcome back in Skee Prophet in the house, as is Teddy Covers, ready to roll, and the birthday boy, there he is, Mr. Tony Finn, recovering from what was a long birthday weekend. But gentlemen, welcome in here on this Tuesday. Skee, talk to me here. Some intriguing matchups on the board. Do you have anything locked and loaded, ready to go tonight in the association?
Yeah, I have 3 plays that I've made so far today. Yesterday I did go in the right direction. I won 3 out of 4. So try to keep that going again here today. Yeah,
let's do it. Shooters gonna shoot here, much like they did last night. Teddy. Let's see, $150 for Houston. It was $150 for Portland. Boy, we got some scoring going on this year, Teddy. How about you, though? You got anything locked and loaded, ready at Wager Talk and/or Sports Memo?
Yeah, we cashed last night a pretty easy one with Orlando plus the points against the Celtics. They ended up winning that game by 15, and it wasn't much of a sweat. We'll see if we can do it again tonight. I have a pair of selections up and available in the association for tonight. Although, if you pay attention on the show, you'll get at least one of those two before we're through. And we have a 3-pack up as well. Value price 3-pack, including the college hoops for tonight. Get it right now over at WagerTalk or SportsMemo.com.
Yeah, great slate of cards there. College hoops, NBA. Tony Finn, you know all about that, my man. I'm imagining you got a little something from each on your card here tonight at Wager Talk.
Well, I do. They're just not made public yet. So as soon as the show's over, I've had to finalize some things and running a bit tardy today. Ooh. But this show always helps either wake me up, piss me off, or alert me to something. So let's see what happens.
Well, I can assure you, pissing off is our specialty. We have no problem with that. So let's check in with the contrarian gods and see if they can, in fact, help us out here, as they're looking at a game tonight, and I think they're taking us to Dallas, in fact, where the Washington Wizards getting 7 now against the Mavs. 8:30 Eastern time there will be the tip. I believe the last time these two teams met, I believe it was a Wizards 113-105 win here. So intriguing matchup, getting 7, Skee. What do you think? You going with the dog here, or do you think Dallas is the side to go?
Well, I like a prop more than a side in this game, but what I will say is Dallas is a team I don't trust laying points. Yes, they've been able to do enough to get wins at home, but they have not been covering the numbers. So until they start playing a little bit better defense, I don't think I'll be expecting them to win by, this kind of a margin anytime soon. So with that said, and also the rest advantage for the Wizards, I think I will lean towards them plus the points. But if I like anything from Dallas, it's going to be Dinwiddie over his 18.5 points. I know this game means a good, amount to him. He tends to up his scoring whenever Christian Wood is off the floor. I think he's averaging 24 points, clearing his number in 5 out of the 6 games. And yeah, just also, last time he played his former team, he had 33. So I think he has success again tonight. So lean with the contrarian play of the day, Washington. Also like Dinwiddie over his 18.5 points.
All right, love it there. Teddy, how about you? Are you trusting Dallas to lay 7 here tonight at home? No Porzingis, by the way. I believe that's what's been ruled out. I believe Beal is going here tonight, though.
Yeah, Beal's expected to play. I mean, they traded Hachimura, and Porzingis isn't going to go. But other than that, Washington is relatively fully staffed. Dallas isn't. You know, when you talk about 2 key guys from the rotation for the Dallas Mavericks who aren't playing right now, Christian Wood, Maxi Kleber. Neither guy moves the needle on the point spread. Both guys are absolutely instrumental in what Dallas wants to do. Kleber's as good a perimeter defender as they have. Woods as good a low post scorer as they have. Without that duo, Dallas is missing something. No surprise. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. We talk about Dallas as a favorite, and everyone's going to bring it up. You should bring it up. At -5 or higher this year, the Dallas Mavericks have been favored 23 times this season. -5 or higher. They've covered 7 of those games. 7, 15, and 1 ATS. They have been bad. No, I'm sorry. They covered 5 of those games. 5, 17, and 1 ATS. Okay. 5 out of 23 times. That's not the track record I'm looking for from my favorites. Washington, a clear choice for this better. We'll come back to this game later in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last I saw the updated was 16, 32, and 1 against the number. Dallas has not exactly been a team you're running to the window with there, Tony Finn. So as a favorite, you got to go, but I don't know. Are you confident in laying 7 at home?
Well, I think Teddy, both my esteemed colleagues here did a great job of covering, at least giving an outlook, a forecast of what we should be expecting from Dallas and what we have seen from Dallas. 4-7 straight up, 3-8 against the spread, against the number this month. As Skee was talking about winning, but not covering. Even 4-7 straight up is not great. 3-8 against the spread, even worse for those who haven't faded in Dallas. It's been their defense. It really is. They still do some things offensively that always surprise me, considering they're a one-man show, in my opinion. You know, unless Doncic's getting a little bit of help from his, you know, it's basically a supporting cast. But what we got here is exactly like Teddy described. Plus Dorian Finney-Smith, and Josh Green, they're both back from injury. That was supposed to have helped them defensively. Their D-rating in non-garbage time over that 11 games I just described is 1-2-1. 1-2-2 really is what it is. 122 per 100 possessions, and that will not cut it with a one-man show, even as good as Doncic can be. Bradley Beal's back. I don't like the fact that Porzingis isn't. If Porzingis is in this game, it's not even a coin flip. It's not even a question. I'm all over the Wiz. This is another game that I'd like to talk a little bit more about, because I think I haven't decided yet, because I'm waiting to hear some things, but I'm going to make it my best bet. So when we get to best bet segments, we won't talk about them being a dog. We'll talk about them winning this game.
All right, looking at possibility here and a best bet coming up with Washington visiting Dallas here tonight. The contrarian gods all over the Wizards there and the points. All right, let's check out a featured matchup here tonight. One, it is intriguing to say the least here, is the New York Knicks catching 3.5 at home here against the Cleveland Cavaliers. 221 is that total. New York, I believe, just lost their 4th straight. Toronto ended up handling business. Without Robinson, they don't seem to stop anybody anymore here, Skee. So side total here, who exactly are you looking at in this matchup?
Yeah, the defense has definitely been slacking. 3rd worst defensive rated team the last 5 games for the Knicks. And also at the rest disadvantage here. 2 days rest for the Cavaliers and only 1 day for the Knicks. I think the couple things that have been going well for the Knicks, they've been able to play strong in the first half. So if you like them, you get in and get out. And secondly, if you like anything else from the Knicks, I think you just play on Julius Randle. Especially, I mean, it's a tough matchup tonight with Mobley and Allen on the other side, but just looking at what he's been producing lately, like he's been getting 15+ rebounds pretty consistently. So with his prop at 11.5 tonight, it's just hard to see who else is out there grabbing rebounds. So I might look towards him or Knicks first half if I like anything on that side. And I think that's the side I prefer to go with, just because we know the Cavaliers have not been a great road team. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a winning record on the road. So lean Knicks first half, lean Randall, and as far as the total, both of these teams playing extremely slow. Bottom 5 in pace the last 5 games. And if the Knicks, which they haven't been doing, but if they can just play a little bit of defense, I think this one stays under the total as well.
All right. I mean, who go figure there, Teddy? Robinson maybe the key to this Knicks team. Certainly defensively, it hasn't been a good stretch. He's out another at least, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. Do you see them turning this thing around here tonight?
No. You know, the Cavs are 9-14 on the highway. I mean, they're not an easy team necessarily to back on the road. But we got to talk about the Knicks for a minute. All right. Without the low post stopper against a team with 2 7-footers on the floor basically at all times, it's a bad game for Mitchell Robinson to be hurt for the Knicks. But let's look at New York right now. From the week before Christmas, 7-10 straight up. So they've been a losing record. But when we look at the 7 wins, you go, oh my God. They beat Detroit. They beat Washington when the Wizards were slumping. They beat Indiana when the game that Halliburton got hurt. They beat Toronto when the Raptors couldn't beat anyone. They beat the Spurs, didn't cover that game. They beat the Suns without everybody when Phoenix was tanking. And they beat the Rockets. Those are the 7 wins they have over the last month. They're not beating anybody that's any good. So the question is, the Cavs any good? I think they are. Now, I always hate laying the premium when the star comes back on the floor. Donovan Mitchell's coming back tonight for the Cavs. He hasn't been out long enough that I would expect them to be completely disjointed with him back on the floor. But I don't generally like to lay the extra price with the team when their star comes back the first night. But Knicks are fade only right now when they step up in class. And Cleveland, even with their 9-14 road record, they're still a step up in class for the Knickerbockers.
Yes, it certainly is here. And Tony, Finn, what are you thinking here, man? The Knicks, they can certainly put up points, maybe a total in this one, or are you not buying it either in this one?
Oh, I think it's a good point. Very good point, Joe. In fact, the point I was going to bring up, and that is without Mitchell in the paint, without Mitchell defending the rim, first and foremost, since Coach Tibb made that change in the starting lineup and, put more offense into, well, we can go back to last year. I won't do the show limitations here, right? But Coach Tom T has been much more offensive than he has in the first couple of years of his tenure there. And Mitchell doesn't help him, doesn't do anything for him except for force him to be even more offensive. Since Mitchell went out and this team even goes smaller than they are, Teddy was spot on. I think Mitchell played about 10, 15 minutes in that first game that he was out against Washington. New York, since then, they've allowed almost 1.35 points per possession. That's not very defensive, is it? It's not the kind of basketball that he likes to teach. 2 of those 3 games have gone over the total. I was on their last one. Basically, I just said, listen, until the odds makers make the adjustment I believe they need to make in this situation, or at least in Mitchell's situation in the Knicks, I'm going to be over. I was over then. I'm over tonight. I think the play in this game is over. I think the number's extremely low, especially with Mitchell back in the lineup. And what do you guys have this total at? I was just looking it up. 219 up to 221 now, isn't it? 219 now, 221. I'm over the 221 in this game.
All right. If you're liking some points to be at the Garden here tonight with the Cavs and the Knicks. And speaking here of points, how about we take a look at our overtime segment, which will involve a game and a total out west as the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Phoenix Suns. And ironically enough, this total has been cratering here. 232, 231 and a half at an open. We're seeing 227 now in this one. And, well, we certainly know there won't be much defense for Charlotte here, Skee. So I'm wondering, do you agree with the market move here? Are you still looking at an under, or might this be over or not for you in this one?
It's hard for me to look towards an under here. I know Charlotte, I think 18-9 to the over so far on the road. And really it starts with what you named. They don't play any defense. Lately it's been the same thing. Recent performance, last 5 games, bottom 5, bottom 6 defensive rated team. And neither team is good defending the 3 on the season. So it's an opportunity, for a Charlotte team that hasn't been great shooting at 3 to maybe have success tonight. It's also an opportunity for a Phoenix team who's been really good shooting at 3, top 5, to take advantage of that poor 3-point defense for Charlotte. So I think it'll be up tempo. You have a Suns team who's top 5 in pace the last 5 games, and we know Charlotte doesn't mind running up and down the floor. So I would be going with the over in this game if I'm playing, but I'm not involved.
All right, leaning towards the over in this one. LaMelo, I think, still questionable. Teddy, I haven't seen one way or the other. Ayton, I guess now doubtful still with the illness. Is there enough points to look at the over between these two teams tonight?
I'm not playing over. No, I see Ayton as out for tonight, which is probably good for the over because he's certainly when you think about how Charlotte plays, Charlotte likes to attack the paint. They're not a team that shoots a ton of perimeter jumpers, as we saw in Utah the other night when they only made 2 3-pointers for the entire game, which is their low mark of the season. But they only took 16, and that had a lot to do with the way the Jazz were defending the Hornets. It's not like this team can't hit threes. Rozier can hit threes all day long when he's on. But that being said, Phoenix is not an over team right now, especially with Chris Paul back the lineup. Chris Paul slows down the offense. Chris Paul and the Suns' defense has been there. Even through all of the struggles they had without Booker in lineup and without Paul and all the injuries they've suffered, I haven't seen Phoenix let go of the rope defensively. But they're an offensively challenged team, and they're not. Talk about pushing pace of late, perhaps. Maybe they do run up and down against Charlotte. But my sense of Phoenix right now is not a team that I'm looking to play overs. I don't like that. The defense has been there. And if Charlotte's not hitting threes, they ain't going over the top. Yep. I mean, they might give up $140 here. That's always a possibility. And it is the dog days of the NBA season right here. But, the trade deadline's coming. The All-Star break's coming. When you read the quotes this week, it stands out like a sore thumb. Everybody's tired. Everybody's gassed. Everyone's looking at the All-Star break, and it's not here yet. It's still a couple of weeks out.
Yep.
We are seeing teams let go of the rope defensively. And Charlotte's one of those type of squads that can do that. But from a fundamental standpoint, these are not two teams that I want to play over the total, especially the Phoenix side here. I do think the Suns solid on the defensive end.
All right, grind them out kind of game there for Phoenix there, Finn. Do you think any value still in the under, or do you like the over in this matchup?
Well, if you saw at the bell this morning, this game took some sharp money to the under. Opened at 231, I believe that's right. I'm not looking at the board. 231, I think it's at 227 right now. But if you look at the time on most of, if you trust and I do, if you trust the WagerTalk scoreboard, live scoreboard, you'll see that the time that money was, or that move was made. Some of it may be adjustments by the books, but there was some sharp money came in under. Why? Because a lot of guys, I think, believe that Ball's not playing. And my goodness gracious, no Hayward, no Oubre, no leader, or basically orchestrating this offense. I playing the over is pretty darn tough for me, especially with a team like Phoenix, who's been as unpredictable as, the Midwest weather. You just never know. It's going to be sunny. Is it going to be cloudy? Is it going to snow? Is it going to rain? It's going to do all 4. I don't know. That's how I feel about the damn Suns. So if I'm in this room, I'm definitely under the total, but that shift already to the under, we'll see. Ball would be really a key for me. Is he playing? Is he not playing? He's missed the last 2 games. So there's no real indicator. A lot of times, guys, I think I have my arms wrapped around a coach when they're listing or giving a player a designation. And in Ball's case, in Charlotte's case, I've not been right very often. So I'll stay away. But if I was there, definitely south of the current total.
Yeah, well, if it's not moving because LaMelo ain't in, then if he gets announced, it's gonna be around. It's gonna be well under that 227 mark right now. But keep an eye on the injury report as always, guys. It is the NBA after all. But there are quite a number of dogs available here tonight that could very well be barking here, Robert.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, let's see if we can find a barking dog here tonight. Indiana's on this list, as are the Celtics in Miami. We talked about the Knicks. New Orleans at home taking on Denver. They're getting a point. We talked Washington, of course, Charlotte. Oh, yeah, the Lakers at home. I think, yeah, it's home. Yeah, that's right, taking on the Clippers. It's home, it's sort of home, getting 5 here. So some intriguing dogs here, Skee, on the card here tonight. Which one are you leaning at?
I'll go with one that, I can talk about and maybe piss Tony Finn off a little bit, and also give me a chance to disagree with Teddy in a later segment. So we'll go with the short dog here. We'll go with the Pacers plus the 1.5, and we'll read off the SDQL first for Mr. Tony Finn here. So we're looking at short rested home dogs on a 6 or more game losing streak. They're 14-2 straight up and against the spread versus unrested less than 500 teams. And this, when I say short home dogs, I just mean less than 3, like plus 2.5, plus 2, anything less than plus 3. And it dates all the way back to 1996. So that says about 87.5% of the time, Indiana should get it done. Looking at Indiana so far this year, they have a winning record at home, 15-9. I know a lot of it has to do with Halliburton on the floor, but I just don't like backing this Bulls team on the road laying points. Only 9-14 straight up. And also the rest advantage for the Pacers play a part here. 2 days compared to a back-to-back for the Chicago Bulls. So I think it's a pretty good situation for the Pacers to get off the schneid here. I'll take them plus the 1.5.
All right, laying it there, or taking it rather, with Indiana taking on those Chicago Bulls, who had a nice win last night. Teddy, is there a dog on this card you're looking at tonight?
Yes, there is. It's a game we talked about earlier. I'll get a chance to give the other side of Skee's case in just a few moments. We'll talk about how urgent the situation is for Chicago right now, and how, in my power rankings, they're the number 6 team in the NBA, even though they have a sub 500 record right now. The Bulls are bet on. That said, I'm getting ahead of myself. We got to talk, and again, I talked about it earlier. It's no surprise. I'm going to look at the Wizards plus the points against Dallas. One thing I didn't mention earlier, the schedule of these two teams. Since New Year's Eve, this will be the Dallas Mavericks' 13th game. Washington has only played 9 games during that same span. And that kind of adds up, especially with all the quotes we've been hearing around the league, particularly this week. Every team's talking about, we're banged up, we're tired, we're waiting for the All-Star break, we're waiting for the trade deadline. When you have a team like Dallas that is playing shorthanded, that is banged up, that is going through a grueling stretch of schedule, and that has failed to cover as a favorite over and over and over again, yeah, I'll fade him again today. Give me Washington plus the points.
All right, double dip there for Teddy, liking them Wizards to handle business there against Dallas tonight. How about you, Finn? Which one of these dogs might be barking for you tonight? I know you want to bet the Lakers. I know you do.
I looked hard to see if I could do that for Skee, because I wouldn't want him any mad. I'd like to kind of cheer him up a little bit, but we're not going to go there. We're going to go east instead of west, and we're going to play against what is assumed and appears visually to be as a healthy Miami Heat team against a Boston team that's on a back-to-back now, right? On a back-to-back, played last night. Who did they start last night in place of Smart and Williams III? They played Derek White and Blake Griffin. How much more could one make you want to get on the Celtics with Blake and Derek in the starting lineup? Well, I want to be on them. Boston, they had their 9-0 run ended by Orlando Monday. Team failed to cover 3 straight as it heads into Miami, right? The Heat are the healthiest they've been all season, which is not a good thing. First and foremost, right now they're on a 2-4, 2-5 ATS run over the last 7. Miami 1 and 2 straight up against Boston this year. A lot of it has to do with injuries, but mostly it has to do with their defensive philosophy. Their defensive philosophy is to run teams off the 3 line, right? Let them shoot some threes and or run them off the 3 line and get them to the rim. In the 3 games that Boston has played against Miami, they're shooting 40% from the 3 line and shooting 41 threes in each game on average. Give me the Heat plus the points tonight to once again take it to the Heat.
All right, taking it to the Heat. You weren't impressed with like the White Pritchard 11-point? No, okay, very good. All right, let's see. Can't wait to hear this. Let's go. Best bets here tonight. All right, here we go. 60 seconds on the clock. We got a rebuttal coming. This should be fun here, Skee. 60 seconds, my man. Lay it out for us. What's the best bet tonight?
Well, I continue to go with the guy that I've been riding with for a few games now. And I talked about Billy Donovan, how he mentioned he wants the team to continue to play through Vucevic. I see them doing it out there on the floor with him at the top of the key, off the screens, or, screen handoffs, however you want to call it. He's getting those assists. He's cleared his assist prop, I think 7 of the last 8 games. So you could just rock with only the assist against a Pacers team who's bottom 5 defensive rated, a Pacers team who allows the 5th most assists. But I also like his rebounds. I mean, he's been pretty damn consistent there as well. He's getting double digits as far back as I can remember. And if you just watch the games, I mean, he's hunting the rebounds every time somebody puts a shot up. That's the kind of guy I want a rebound prop on. So we cashed his rebounds plus assists yesterday at 14.5. They've raised it to 15.5. I guess the only concern would be that it's a back-to-back. But other than that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll go Vucevic over 15.5 rebounds plus assists.
Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, guys, prop for the best bet on Skee. And now Teddy gets to demolish his Pacers pick. Go ahead, Teddy, 67. We'll give you more, but go ahead, roll with it.
The sun's shining in the office window here in the afternoon. Nothing like Vegas this time of day. There's 2 quotes from DeMar DeRozan, who is the undisputed team leader of Chicago. I'm just going to read them both to you, and you tell me if you want to bet the Bulls right now. This is the first one before yesterday's game. Quote, "It's gut-cutting time now. Every single game. We showed in the first half of the season that we compete with the top teams in the league. Now it's about putting it together every night because these games we can't get back. Every game is just as important as the next. As long as we have that mindset about every single game, every single practice from here on out, we've got a good chance to put ourselves in a good position." Here's what he said after the game last night. "The second half of the season, you can't give games back. Everything matters from here in and out. You've got to be the desperate ones. You've got to go out there and compete. Indiana stinks right now, okay? Without a Halliburton and maybe without Nember tonight, it's Bulls or pass. Third choice for me."
All right. Bulls backed up against the wall here a little bit. Teddy backing them. How about you, Finn? Talk to us about that best bet here tonight.
No, Teddy's right. But why couldn't they score more than 17? What did they score in the first quarter last night to kill my over on Chicago? Because they have been good offensively. And then, of course, I played over. Let's go to the Cleveland, New York game. I talked a little bit about it earlier. Listen, I know that we don't have a huge sample size, a huge DNA sample from who the Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson. But I think we know. I think they've shown it in the past. I think that while it's only been just sort of 3 games, they are going to have to be more offensive than they've been even this year, which is against the grain for Tom T. New York allowed, I mentioned this, 1.3.5 points per possession without Mitchell. The most recent example, listen, Toronto, they allowed over 1. It was 1-3-1 against Toronto, a 125-162 win over Toronto. Even though they allowed that, Donovan Mitchell's back tonight. The Cavaliers are not going to be the offensive. We get a little break. I think we get a 3 or 4 point break tonight because it's Cleveland and their defense over the 221. Sorry, it took me so long. Love you guys.
Yep, 221 over, I think, is what I pulled out from there. So here you go, guys. We got a few interesting ones here tonight as Skee His dog is going to be Indiana. He's taking a 1.5. You don't like them Bulls on the second of a back-to-back. His best bet, though, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, damn it. He'll go with Vucevic over those 15.5 points and assists, while Teddy, and look, Teddy's moving lines already. Look at this. Washington down to 6.5 because Teddy had to open his mouth and say it not once but twice here now. Washington Wizards on the road against Dallas. His best bet, though, he likes them Bulls on the second of a back-to-back in this spot. He'll lay the 1.5, while Finn, he don't trust Miami at home, and I don't blame him. They've been dead to me for a while. Plus 4.5 there, while the Cleveland, New York over 221 is the place to go. And, of course, the contrarian play of the day, Washington plus 7. All right, guys, don't forget, if you head over to WagerTalk.com, you can go ahead, get yourself some. Go to Teddy's page, go to Skee's page, go to Tony Finn's page. They are locked, loaded, ready to roll here tonight. Great chance for you guys, especially heading into a championship weekend here. Plenty of college hoops, plenty of NBA, football still. Those 3-day, 7-day, and 30-day all-access packages, really the way to go. Visit their pages today, and let's hop on board, partner up with them as we get ready for a pretty darn good night here of basketball in the association as well as college hoops. So on behalf of Skee, Tony, and Teddy, guys, we appreciate the time. Best of luck with all your plays here tonight. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll do it all over. Good luck.
Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers, best bet, or daily package for only $2.